The program you're about to see is designed to provide emergency planning assistance to all those who are charged with the care and safety of children. The tornado safety procedures suggested here are not all-inclusive, but are designed to help you reevaluate, expand, and enhance your tornado shelter plans and prepare for an event as best as possible. Checklists and support information related to this program can be downloaded from www.gbriskcontrol.com and the Ready Illinois website at www.ready.illinois.gov. Special thanks to Rita Security for taking the initiative to make this project a reality.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Munkin, and I'm the Director of the Illinois Emergency Management Agency. Here at IEMA, our primary mission is to be prepared for any eventuality in the state of Illinois. However, no matter how important our work is, no work is more important than individuals in the state of Illinois being prepared for a disaster. We are now in the middle of tornado season, and last year was the deadliest year on record for the United States since 1926 at the hands of 1,700 tornadoes. We already saw this year in Harrisburg, Illinois, where a deadly tornado took the lives of 7 people. It underscores the importance of individuals being prepared in the community and in schools. And to this reason, we ask you to take the extra step necessary to be ready for any eventuality in your school. Listen closely to the information that we will provide you to show how you can keep yourself and your classmates safe in the event of a tornado. Thank you for your time, and please stay safe.
Tornadoes can happen during any season, at any time of day. Spring is typically when tornado frequency and impact are greatest, with May being the most active month. Identifying tornado danger signs, understanding basic terminology, and knowing where to get immediate information on weather conditions is critical to being prepared. Administrators, teachers, and staff have a higher duty of care as they are responsible for the health and safety of children at school and during school-sponsored activities. School preparedness must go beyond a basic understanding of tornado safety. Establishing expectations, identifying shelter areas, completing pre-season tasks and drills, developing a pre-storm checklist, and having a post-event plan takes tornado preparedness to a higher level of safety for students, staff, and other building occupants. Set expectations. Make sure your school complies with standards and recommendations. Plan for the best use of your building and the safety of its occupants based on building strengths and weaknesses, needs and capabilities of your staff, students, and visitors, and your operations, activities, and exposures. As you work through these items, reasonably plan for the worst-case scenario and expect the unexpected. Shelter identification is essential. Use the best spaces available. Shelters should be substantial, ideally with reinforced concrete construction. The best shelters are usually located in basements or interior lower levels. Choose a shelter area that has a short roof span and is away from glass or other safety hazards. Building areas with large roof spans, such as gymnasiums, auditoriums, and cafeterias, are dangerous and not recommended for shelter. Once shelters are identified, post and label these areas within the building. Shelter areas can also be improved or hardened by removing elements that could present debris hazards during a tornado strike, such as glass transoms, display cases, and skylights. Shelter areas must be readily accessible and occupied within 1 to 2 minutes of a tornado warning. Don't automatically assume the hallway is the best tornado shelter. Some hallway shelters are potential wind tunnels, especially if they have glass doors at each end that open to the outdoors.
Hello, my name's Jim Bondi. I'm the Chief of Security at the Illinois Math and Science Academy. On August 28, 1990, a deadly tornado passed through the town of Plainfield, Illinois. Fortunately, school was not in session, for the tornado destroyed the high school and adjacent administrative building. I was the commander of the local National Guard unit at the time, so when we were activated, I had a rare opportunity to walk through the high school. I observed firsthand that interior hallways in this case would not have been a good place to shelter students and staff. Desks, equipment, and other materials and large amounts of dirt and mud were strewn up and down the hallways, and these interior flow-through hallways were obviously turned into wind tunnels and a dangerous place to shelter people. We are strongly urging people to look at their present sheltering locations and decide if interior hallways are the best option. If they are your only option, please look at hardening equipment for your exterior hallway doors.
Carefully examine and choose those hallways that will be used as tornado shelters. Use interior hallways at a 90-degree angle to through hallways that exit to the outside to help reduce wind tunnel effects. Additional things to consider when selecting shelter areas include: for a single-story building, avoid shelters with heavy rooftop equipment located above that may collapse into the space. If shelter spaces have swinging doors, such as a restroom door, make sure they can quickly be secured to prevent flying debris from entering the area. Survey your campus for exterior hazards on or near school property, such as chimneys and towers that may fall onto your building and into a shelter space. Make provisions to evacuate special needs students, young children, and others who may require additional time to reach shelter. Anticipate worsening conditions, keep staff members apprised, and begin preparations for relocation with notice of a tornado watch. Shelters should be close by to reduce travel time as much as possible. Do the same for staff and students located in temporary classrooms. Temporary or portable classrooms are not recommended shelter areas. 1. Develop and confirm protocols to facilitate decision-making. Have a plan for immediate evacuation of temporary classrooms and special needs students, suspension of gatherings in large roof span areas, and outdoor activities when severe weather threatens. 2. Establish protocols for delayed release times. Protocols for communication with staff and parents should be communicated regarding delayed release times when severe weather approaches. Buses are no substitute for a reinforced building shelter. Administrators should be prepared to implement tornado safety protocols to keep students inside and on school premises until the threat of severe weather has passed. 3. Identify a means of communication to notify bus drivers and coaches of approaching severe weather. 4. Conduct a pre-season survey of all shelter spaces. Determine shelter spaces, examine them for hazardous items, and if possible, harden these spaces. Also check or install emergency lighting in these areas. 5. Prepare emergency equipment. Verify your weather alert radio is operational and has fresh batteries. Check battery backups for the telephone and PA systems. Should the PA system fail, keep a bullhorn on hand for crowd control. Check first aid supplies and locate them near or in shelter areas. 6. Make provisions for quick shutoff of utilities, such as gas, electric, and water. Train several persons on how to effect shutoffs. Make sure shutoff tools are available inside the shelter space. 7. Pre-assign responsibilities to staff members. Designate staff members and alternates as specific shelter space managers. Assign other staff members to assist with student supervision, first aid, post-event building security and traffic control, bringing communication equipment and supplies into shelter spaces, including the weather alert radio, phones and critical numbers, two-way radios, flashlights, and other emergency supplies. Bringing emergency contact information for students and staff into shelter spaces for post-event access. 8. Identify a potential post-event assembly area. Communicate to staff and students the location of an assembly area inside or outside the building where everyone will gather until help arrives. The actual assembly area will be identified and communicated after the event based on hazards, safety, and availability. 9. Communicate and/or coordinate plans with local emergency response personnel. Meet with local emergency response personnel and discuss your school's emergency plans. 10. Train employees, staff, and students. Make sure they are aware of procedures, tornado protocols, and any updates. Be sure to review tornado protocols with parents as well. 11. Conduct a practice drill. As soon as employees, staff, students, and parents are familiar with tornado protocols and procedures, conduct a severe weather shelter-in-place drill. Document drill results and follow up as needed. Communicate these procedures and pertinent shelter information with other off-hour building occupants and groups. Prior to every tornado season, be sure to review this checklist and make any necessary updates. As severe weather approaches, keep a weather alert radio in the main office and constantly monitor conditions for current information. Additional information sources include the Weather Channel, Internet, and local TV and/or radio news stations. Provide staff with regular communications, advising them of impending weather conditions and any alerts issued by the National Weather Service. When school is in session, suspend or postpone outdoor physical education, recess, field trips, and any activities located away from the school. The same applies to after-school sporting events and practices, clubs, and field trips. Assemblies, events, and other activities scheduled to take place in areas with large roof spans should also be suspended or postponed. Remember that these areas often collapse and are not recommended tornado shelters. Anticipate immediate evacuation of students and staff in temporary or portable classrooms, special needs students, and younger children to shelters as severe weather approaches. Should severe weather be approaching at release time, implement your delayed release plan and/or protocol and communicate this information to staff, students, and parents. After a tornado strike, provide immediate directions to those in shelter areas. If shelter areas appear undamaged and safe, remain in the space until further directions are given. If necessary, send a pre-assigned staff member to shut off building gas, electric, and water as needed. Check the identified post-event assembly areas for hazards. Outdoor areas should be checked for downed power lines and hazardous debris. Indoor areas should be checked for damage, debris, and other hazards. Choose the best available area. Direct staff and shelter supervisors to assemble all persons in the designated assembly area for a head count, first aid assistance, and so forth. Implement post-event staff assignments, including building security, student supervision, traffic control, and first aid. Do not allow anyone to enter a damaged building. Secure the building as needed to keep persons away from weak structures and wreckage until professionals arrive to assess the structure and clear away debris. Follow your child-parent reunification procedures. The time to be ready is now. According to Ron Ellis, Director, School and Campus Security Training Program, Illinois Terrorism Task Force, schools should review their safe areas and practice their severe weather drill plan in light of lessons learned from recent tornado incidents. For additional information and checklists, contact your Gallagher-Bassett Loss Control Consultant or one of the organizations listed below. Thank you to the following agencies, organizations, and individuals who contributed to this program: